All right, gang. Wonderful Sunday evening here in West Virginia. We've got about, I don't know, 5, 6 inches of snow that fell already. Now the snow has turned to ice falling from the sky. So tomorrow being a holiday, me being sort of still recovering from the vid, not going anywhere anyhow. So thought I'd play a little bit more with this Tannenberg to Weltkrieg. Now this was just sort of a small test play for me to see what the system was like, and I'm gonna probably close this out right here. Um, Ending it right here, right now, would be a German or a Russian substantial victory. Okay, so good system. I love the combat system in this. I love the rail movement system in this. Well, I only got to use it for the Germans. I love the strength loss system. The combat results tables taking me a little while to grasp. The attacker is pretty routine to do with strength points and modifiers for terrain or whatever. But then, deciding on retreat for the defender, and then how you compute the attack numbers for the counter attack. So your attacker attacks, and before the strength points are removed from the defender, he gets to counter attack. And depending on what he chooses to do, whether he chooses to retreat or he's forced to retreat due to the number of losses compared to his actual strength, I think it's like 50% for the Germans, they have to retreat. I think if it's 1/3 for the Russians, they have to retreat. The defender's counterattack might be tripled or doubled. I've been trying to run this through my head, saying, well, why would it be like that? And then I got thinking, well, World War One. Trenches, I would assume, because the attacker is attacking a unit that's in a defensive position. I would get that right now on the West Front. But in this one here, I'm not so sure. But still, all in all, it's different. It's unique. The use of supply, the use of demoralization. As you can see on the chart over here, like I say, ending it right now, I think the demoralization levels were, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 differential in favor of the Russians. And then you're accounting for supply too, so the Russian supply. If I push this farther, I'm sure the Germans will ramp up because their supply is massive. But getting supply into the combat, so it's kind of like attack supply in a lot of other games, you got to get it from the headquarters units. All right, so here's the only German headquarters unit on the map. 4 movement factors, and there's no penalty. You just subtract, for every 4 attacking points, it's 1 supply point. For every movement factor past 4, you start taking 1 strength point up. There's a maximum, I'd have to look it up, but you start taking 1 strength point off of the attacking units for each hex beyond that 4. So the Germans only having 1, you've got to decide where you're going to go with him. The Russians have 2. Doesn't matter. That's a lot of ground that's got to be covered. Now on the defense, it's for every 2 strength points, you burn a supply point. So it gets, every 2 strength points is, well, there's a chart here. Counterattacking infantry strength is 2, you burn a supply point. Attacking infantry strength, it's 4. All right. Other than that, the game system is pretty simple. It's, like I say, it's unique. The terrain, each hex side in a hex has its own terrain. And when you attack into a hex, the hex side that you attack through, the defender can choose the defending terrain of either that hex side or the 2 adjacent ones. So like in this hex right here, if this German unit were attacking in, this defender, he could either choose the woods, the clear, or the clear. Well, obviously he's going to choose the woods, okay? So I thought that was pretty cool. And there's modifiers you get in the combat for that. This game started out with the Russians for 3 turns having to move in a direct path towards Königsberg, not concerning themselves with whether enemy units or forts were sitting there. They were supposed to just drive straight through there. It didn't mean you ignored them. You'd have to stop and everything. But, and depending on distance to Königsberg and the number of Russian units inside German territory, would determine how many reinforcements get yanked from the Western Front and brought out here to the fight. Well, they only got like 20 points, I think, so the Germans didn't have to shift any troops. My maluse of the German infantry, not all of them, but up in here, with the attacks, you really, as the attacker, you need to put a buttload of points into the attack. Get as much as you can in that attack, because if that defender gets tripled, you go in there with like 14 or 15, you might cause 1 or 2 strength point losses, and he's got 8 in there that gets tripled. He might pop you for 5 or 6. So you really need to math, which I assume during World War I that's what they did anyhow. All right, so I like the system. I kind of wish I had more of it. Maybe I'll go digging for it. I think you can still buy it from Decision Games, so maybe I'll go look and see what's out there. I want to say I saw some package for $300 or something like that, but I'll look. Not guarantee I'm going to jump on it, but I think this system is very fun, and I'd probably like to see more of it. I'd love to see a World War II version of it. I hope the creator, Dave Schroeder, which, by the way, if you want to learn how to play this game using this scenario, his tutorial videos are excellent. I mean, he says in there, this is not, you don't substitute watching these for reading the rules. You read the rules, but watching him do these tutorials, you can play this thing almost without reading the rules. He does such a good job. All right. So this is Der Weltkrieg Simulation Series. This is Tannenberg from World War I on the Eastern Front. Dave Schroeder, it's his game. Like I said, I think you can still get it from Decision Games now online. But this was fun. If you've got it and you've not played it, get it out, give it a run through. Maybe play one of the other scenarios. I think there's like a 4-game box or something out there. It's worth it. This is definitely worth it. This is one that I will keep. This one came from my buddy Rich up in Michigan. This is actually a freebie he gave me, and I appreciate that. And this one's well worth it. I'll keep it. All right, so this is actually a reason why I'm going to stop this. Reason number 2 is I haven't played any ACW other than the Fateful Lightning game. I really have not played an ACW in months, and I got a hankering to play some American Civil War, so we're going to clear space on this table to do that. All right, let's get this posted. We'll talk to you all later. Peace.